Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of heart technology, specifically looking at two giants, Edwards Lifesciences, ticker EW, and Medtronic PLC, ticker MDT. We're going to break down how they're transforming heart care and what makes each company unique, especially if you're thinking about investing. Visual, animated graphics showing a heart then transforming from an open heart surgery image to a less invasive, catheter-based procedure. On-screen text. Heart health, a revolution in care. The big trend right now in heart treatment is moving away from big, open chest surgeries to much smaller, less invasive procedures using catheters. Think of it like a tiny pipeline going into your heart to fix problems. Both Edwards and Medtronic are at the forefront of this revolution, but they're playing very different games. Visual, split screen with EW logo on left, MDT logo on right. On-screen text. Edwards Lifesciences, EW the specialist, versus Medtronic PLC, MDT the diversifier. Let's start with Edwards Lifesciences. Imagine a company that has decided to become a laser-focused specialist, almost like a high-performance sports car built for one specific purpose. That's Edwards. They've recently refined their business to focus almost entirely on structural heart therapies. This means they're all about fixing issues with your heart valves. Visual, close-up animation of a TVR procedure. On-screen text. TVR, transcatheter aortic valve replacement, Edwards' main engine. Their main moneymaker is something called TVR, transcatheter aortic valve replacement. It's a procedure where doctors replace a faulty aortic valve without open surgery. This segment alone makes up about 65 to 70% of their revenue. They price their TVR products at a premium because they lead to better patient outcomes and shorter hospital stays. But they're also rapidly expanding into other valve repairs and replacements, like for the mitral and tricuspid valves, which is their fastest growing area. To make this focus even clearer, they recently sold off their less profitable patient monitoring business. They pour a huge amount of money, almost 18% of their sales, into research and development to stay ahead. Visual, Medtronic logo. Animated graphics showing different medical devices, pacemaker, brain scanner, surgical robot, insulin pump. On-screen text. Medtronic, diversified healthcare technology. Now, let's look at Medtronic. If Edwards is that specialized sports car, Medtronic is more like a versatile, heavy-duty SUV. They're a massive healthcare technology leader, diversified across many different areas. Yes, they compete directly with Edwards in structural heart with their own TVR system, but that's just one piece of a much larger pie. Visual, on-screen text. Medtronic's Big Four: cardiovascular, neuroscience, medical, surgical, diabetes. Medtronic has four big divisions: heart and blood vessels, brain and nervous system, general medical and surgical tools, and diabetes. This diversification is their strength. If one market faces a hiccup, like a slowdown in TVR procedures, Medtronic can lean on its pacemakers, its surgical robots like Hugo, or its smart insulin pumps to keep things stable. They invest in R&D too, about 8 to 9% of sales, but it's spread across a much broader range of products. Visual, side-by-side bar chart comparison. EW revenue CAGR, 6.7% versus MDT revenue CAGR, 2.7%. On-screen text. Growth engines. Edwards equals faster, Medtronic equals steadier. So, how do their strategies translate into financials? Over the last 5 years, Edwards has shown faster revenue growth, driven by their innovation. Their gross profit margins are incredibly high, around 78 to 80%, because their specialized hard tech commands premium prices. However, they've been spending heavily on new product development, so their operating profits have seen some pressure as they invest for future growth. Medtronic, on the other hand, shows more moderate but very consistent revenue growth. Their gross margins are lower, around 65%, which is typical for a company with such a broad product portfolio, including some lower-margin surgical tools. Visual, graphic. Medtronic, dividend aristocrat, 48 years of increases, with dividend yield. Next to it, Edwards, reinvestment and growth, no dividend, share buybacks and R&D. This brings us to a crucial difference for investors, how they return value to shareholders. Medtronic is what we call a dividend aristocrat. They've consistently increased their dividend for an incredible 48 years straight. If you're looking for steady income and a reliable payout, Medtronic's dividend yield, currently around 3.7%, makes them very attractive. Edwards, however, has never paid a cash dividend and has no plans to. Their philosophy is to reinvest every dollar back into growing the business and buying back their own stock, which can boost the stock price and earnings per share. This is more appealing to growth-oriented investors who want to see their shares appreciate over time. Visual, bar chart. Global TVR market share, 2025. Edwards, 55 to 60% versus Medtronic, 28 to 32%. On-screen text. Edwards dominates TVR. In terms of market muscle, particularly in TVR, Edwards is the clear leader, holding about 55 to 60% of the global market. In the U.S., their dominance is even stronger, at 60 to 70%. Medtronic is their primary competitor in this space. While Edwards leads in aortic valve replacement, other companies, like Abbott Laboratories, lead in different structural heart areas like mitral valve repair. But Edwards is aggressively developing new systems to challenge those markets too. Visual, graphics showing different futuristic medical technologies, PFA catheter, Menon device, Hugo robot arm. On-screen text. Future growth, EW equals expanding indications, MDT equals new technologies. Looking ahead, both companies have exciting growth drivers. Edwards is focused on expanding who can get TVR, treating patients earlier, and developing new solutions for conditions that currently have no good options. Medtronic is making huge strides with something called pulse field ablation, a cutting-edge treatment for irregular heartbeats, and their surgical robotics platform. Their diabetes business is also seeing a resurgence with smart insulin delivery systems. Visual, on-screen text summarizing. Risks, currency, regulation, tariffs. Of course, no investment is without risks. Both companies are impacted by global currency fluctuations, regulatory hurdles for new products, and trade tariffs, especially in big markets like China. Visual, split screen with growth investing, EW logo on left. Value/income investing, MDT logo on right. On-screen text. Edwards, growth at a reasonable price. Versus Medtronic, core holding, dividend aristocrat. So what's the takeaway for you? It really comes down to your investment style. Edwards Lifesciences is for the growth at a reasonable price investor. You believe in their specialized innovation, their high potential, and their ability to keep pushing the boundaries of heart care. Medtronic, on the other hand, is a core holding for defensive portfolios and income investors. You appreciate their stability, their diversification across many health areas, and that reliable, growing dividend. Visual, two puzzle pieces coming together, one with EW logo, one with MDT logo. On-screen text. Edwards plus Medtronic, innovation plus stability. Ultimately, both Edwards and Medtronic are critical players in transforming how we treat heart disease. Whether you're looking for aggressive growth or steady income, they represent two powerful and distinct approaches in the healthcare technology sector. Visual, end screen with channel logo and subscribe button. Which strategy appeals more to you? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insights into the companies shaping our future. See you next time.